Are vitamin D supplements safe? With the craziness that's going on in our world right now, you may have been asking that very question. If that sounds familiar, then I want you to know you are in the right place. I am here to answer that question, plus give you insider information that is going to make your health more invincible. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, doctor of cause, chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine, and specialized in clinical nutrition. In this video, we're going to be going over what no one in the media or big pharma wants you to know about vitamin D. This is a total game changer, guys. Then we'll cover the most common mistake you're unknowingly making when you're trying to get vitamin D from the sun. And finally, I'll be sharing with you the only way to know if vitamin D is safe for you to take and how to actually supercharge your health so you can be more invincible. Let's dive right on in. All right. What is it that no one in the media or big pharma seems to want you to know about vitamin D? Well, this lovely thing that we've been dealing with since the beginning of 2020, its relationship to vitamin D. They seem to be trying to squash this information. And I know people in high places that have put out a lot of evidence and research and information about this that are having to take things down because they're being threatened for one reason or another. What I suggest you do, there is a site you can go to called PubMed. PubMed. This is like the Google of all the peer-reviewed journals that are out there. Search for vitamin D level in COVID-19. So that's what you're searching for. Vitamin D levels in COVID-19. Right now, they haven't scrubbed any of this from the internet. What you'll find, the last time I looked, there was 171 research papers about that specifically. Now, I did not review every single one of them, but in the top 5, they show that vitamin D levels are reflective against severity of infection and mortality rate. What you need to know that we found over the course of the last year and a half, and it makes complete sense because vitamin D is critically important for immune function, is that people who had next to no level of vitamin D in their body had the most severe infection and had the highest rate of mortality. Compared to those that had even just normal levels, like sufficient, which is not where I'd prefer you to be. That's ranked at a 30. I'd like to see you more around a 60 to 80. The units are not necessary for you to know. Just know vitamin D should be at least a 30 in their world. I'd like to see you at a 60 to an 80. So if vitamin D was at least at a 30, those people had the least severe infections. They had really mild infections and they recovered really well, like that 99 point fill in the blank percent that we are not also being told very frequently. So there is a huge correlation between your vitamin D level and the level of health of your immune system, which if ultimately this is about trying to make sure people stay healthy, we all should be evaluating our vitamin D levels and increasing it if we find that we are low in those vitamin D levels. Now, here's the thing. I went on to one of the search engines just this past week, and I looked to see what's the percentage of Americans that are deficient in vitamin D? And right now it says 42%. Last year it said 46%. So it's improved some. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't believe that number at all. I live here in Colorado, and I test patients on a regular basis that predominantly live here, but I also test patients from all over the United States. And I will tell you, probably it's closer to 95% of the people that I've been testing for the last more than 5 years are deficient in vitamin D levels. Vitamin D, what we have known it to be useful for is the strength of our bones and our teeth. But there is huge, huge influence, not just over what we've been dealing with since the beginning of 2020, but we have to have it for our immune system. There's a lot of documentation, a lot of peer-reviewed, legitimate research that's been done that shows vitamin D is critically important for immune system function. There's a lot of research that shows vitamin D is very anti-cancer. Okay? That's like the number 2 cause of death in America is cancer. So we could be armoring ourselves better against those things, including infection, if we make sure our vitamin D levels are where they need to be. The other thing that is coming more online, but is still not really well known, vitamin D is critically important for brain function. That's cognitive function and behavioral, mood, all of it. I will tell you, it's probably upwards of 98% of all my migraine sufferers And 100% of my people who have been diagnosed with anxiety, depression, dyslexia, ADD, ADHD, MS, multiple sclerosis, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all of the neurologic and brain health, or people refer to those as mental health, their brain health problems, they're all severely deficient in vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is best used in the brain. The brain has the most capacity to use vitamin D. So there's a lot of reasons why we need to make sure our vitamin D level is where it needs to be. It's critically important for immune function. So is it safe for us to be taking? Yes, but we're going to get into the details of that. Like, we have to get vitamin D, and clearly majority of us don't have enough of it. Now, I'm curious, have you heard at all about this connection that, for whatever reason, is trying to be squashed? Have you heard about that connection over the last year and a half or so? Let me know down in the comments below. Fantastic. Now we need to get into the most common mistake you're unknowingly making when you go out into the sun and you're working. Like, most people know we can get vitamin D from the sun, right? But there's a mistake in this whole process. You see, I just mentioned I live in Colorado. We have over 300 days of sunshine every single day. Why are 95% of my patients deficient in vitamin D? If we have sunshine and we're at high altitudes and like all the things that should make this place be the least likely place you would find people deficient in vitamin D. Well, guess what? It's because we've been conditioned to put sunscreen or sunblock on when we go outside because of the fear around getting skin cancer. The name tells you everything you need to know. It's sunblock. It's blocking out the sun from your body. In order for you to be able to convert what your liver produces into a usable form of vitamin D, the sun's rays have to be able to penetrate your skin. If you're putting a sunblock on, that's not happening. No wonder so many people are deficient in vitamin D, because everybody lathers up, and bathes in sunblock before they go outside. So we can't get can't get vitamin D from the sun if we're wearing sunblock. Now, you might be concerned then about the skin cancer fact if you go outside. Here's something that's really alarming, okay? Now, I will only use one particular type of a sunblock if my son is going to be outside for hours at a time. And that's one of the physical sunblocks, known as zinc oxide. The other physical is titanium dioxide. Every other sunblock that you get is a chemical, which should already say enough in the name itself. The reason why you have to reapply sunblock the longer you are outside of all of these chemical-based sunblocks is because they get absorbed into your skin, which should tell you that much more. If you start researching sunblock, these chemical blocks that are there, what you're going to find out is that a lot of them are being tested, not by the FDA right now. They've been tested, and people who reapply sunblock throughout the day, if you're going to spend all day long out at the beach or, hiking in the mountains or whatever you're doing, what we found is that there's higher levels than what are considered safe of these chemicals in your blood, even 72 hours after your applications. These are things that should be being researched by the FDA for their negative health effects. Some of these are potentially carcinogenic. So, if sunblock's supposed to help prevent skin cancer, but you're using things that can create cancer, how does that work? And it's blocking out your ability to make vitamin D, which we know is very anti-cancer. Not good. Coconut oil has a natural SPF, a natural sunblock of 7 in it. You can use coconut oil and not be concerned about whatever is absorbing into your skin. It's actually really good for you and it's good for your skin. Or if you feel like you need to use a sunblock, use one of the physical, zinc oxide. Okay, that was what made the lifeguards white. They do have some that are more clear, but you have to be careful of what are the other ingredients that are being put into those sunblocks. But here's the thing, if you're relying on the sunshine to try to get enough vitamin D, you can't have sunblock on. And you have to have a lot of skin exposure in order to get enough. It's a little concerning, don't you think? Now what? Well, before I get into the only way to know if vitamin D is safe for you to actually take in a supplement form, I just want to take a moment and remind you, click the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and give me a big thumbs up if I'm doing a good job for you while you're down there. You guys, I am regularly producing videos to help you specifically be able to take back control of your health, and I don't want you to miss out on a future episode. Implement what you're learning here, and you will achieve what's called total body mastery, which ultimately means you become unstoppable. Nothing can phase you, okay? So make sure you click that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and give me a big thumbs up. Appreciate it. What is the only way to know if vitamin D is safe for you to actually take in a supplement form? You have to test. And why is this important? Okay. If I just got done telling you majority of everybody that I test is deficient in vitamin D, the answer would be, okay, well, we all need to take vitamin D. That's kind of a safe approach, but not really. If you're not testing, you're guessing. And the reason why this is important for vitamin D is because vitamin D is actually a fat-soluble vitamin. Ultimately, what that means, opposite of our water-soluble vitamins, if you get too much and your body can't absorb it all, it is eliminated through your urine. That does not happen with A, D, E, and K. Those are the fat-soluble vitamins, okay? You can have toxicities of A, D, E, and K because you can get too much. It can accumulate in your system. Now, I know most people are out there are deficient, but here's the thing that you need to know. If you get too high levels of vitamin D, it's going to start pulling calcium out of your bone and putting it into your blood. Why is that a problem? Your kidneys aren't really a big fan of that, and neither is your heart. You could end up with kidney failure and a heart attack. Now, I'm not saying this as a fear tactic. I'm saying this because you have to understand, like, we are so good, myself included, at self-medicating. But you need to know what you're doing, okay? And not all supplements are created equally either, and what your vitamin D level is right now dictates what kind of dose you need to have, and we're all different, okay? People who have more melanin in their skin, more pigment in their skin, generally have lower levels of vitamin D as well, because that's natural sunblock. And they may need a higher dose in order to get to sufficient levels of vitamin D compared to somebody who's very fair complected like myself. Now, there are vitamin D supplements out there that are combined with K2. K2 helps keep calcium in the bone. I can tell you when I put my patients on vitamin D3, it's combined with K2 because I can get vitamin D levels higher and not have calcium be pulled back out of the bone and put into the blood. But the short of the matter is you have to test, okay? I can help you do that really easily. You just drop a comment down below of, hey, how do I get tested? And I will give you the details. It's super easy. You can do it from wherever you're at. It is a blood test, but I can get that handled for you. The other thing you need to know, though, is to supercharge your health. It takes more than just vitamin D, okay? You need to understand if there's different symptoms or health challenges, ailments that you're dealing with right now. You need to get down to the bottom of why did they happen in the first place. If this was not something you were born with, then you shouldn't have to have it. Something changed about your health. And the only way to help supercharge your health and become resilient so you're not taken out by whatever it is that's cruising around in our world, you need to address the underlying cause of whatever health problem you have. And let me tell you, if you're on medication right now, you're already sick. Know that medication did not solve your high blood pressure. Know that medication did not solve your high cholesterol, because think of it. If you stopped taking the medication you were on right now, would whatever you are taking the medication for come back? Yeah. It's because it didn't fix the problem. It's just masking that there is a problem. It's managing your symptom, right? Now, this might sound a little harsh, but this is tough love. This is because I want you to actually be able to supercharge your health, and being on prescription medications doesn't do that. I didn't put you on them. I'm not taking you off of them. I'm just saying you need to figure out what happened that you got put on them in the first place, or what happened that you don't have as much energy and, you've got aches and pains. You're not sleeping well at night, and no, this is not just because you're getting older. Something changed about your health. The only way to figure it out is to test also. Now, if you want to know what that looks like, because it's specific to you, like how we would solve your health problems is going to be entirely different than how we solve somebody else's health problems, even if they are the same problems, because how you got there and how they got there is an entirely different story. You're not living identical lives, so why should your treatment be identical? It shouldn't. So if you want to know more of the details of how all of this works, all you need to do is go down in the description below this video, click on it so it expands. Find the 5-day health challenge. And let me tell you, it's more than limitless energy and ninja-like focus. Okay. It's about you supercharging your health so you become invincible. It does not take 5 days to get through. I just broke down the rest of what I need to share with you so you know how to figure out what caused your health problems and how to address them. I broke it down into 5 bite-sized videos. Okay. So go below the video, find that link, click on it, and I'll see you on the inside. And I will see you on a future episode. Also, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully this was insightful and helpful for you. Remember, I respond to all comments. All feedback is welcome. Comments, drop them down below. Let me know what your thoughts are, what questions you have, and I'm here for you. I will see you on a future episode, and be awesome. Have a great day. God bless.